안녕하세요. 저는 사람사랑유학원 대표 이선호입니다. 오늘은 저희 에이레벨 세미나 두 번째 시간으로요. 영국의 유명한 사설학교죠. Nmsc에 대한 세미나를 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 궁금하신 부분은 밑에 채팅박스에 남겨주시면 제가 좀 답변을 해드리도록 하겠습니다. Okay, so Jane, can you introduce yourself and then you can start the seminar now?
Hi everybody, I'm Jane, I'm from Nmsc and I work in admissions, and I've worked with Suno and Claire at People Loving for a few years now, so I'm very happy to be here and tell you more about our unique college.
Okay. Okay, so you can, you are at Coventry now?
Yes, I'm coming to you from the UK. It's still early morning here, so it's a bit dark, but it's just about sunlight here, sunrise starting here in the UK.
Okay, so you can start, our seminar now.
Okay.
Okay.
Just going to share my screen with you.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, very well.
Okay, fantastic. So the National Mathematics and Science College, we are a unique college. What is our mission? Our mission is to be the top place for STEM in the UK, teaching students gifted in maths and science to become future leaders in their field. So whether that's industry or academics or research. You can see that we're the only dedicated school to STEM in the UK. This gives us a very unique position, and a couple of things here just to say, what makes Nmsc unique? Well, we're going to give you the qualifications that you need for the careers that are most in demand now in STEM. We prepare you to study at top universities. We tailor-make your course, so whether you're coming to us and you want to do engineering or computer science or biochemistry, your course will be tailor-made to your goal. So it's a very individualized, personal study plan at Nmsc. We have an amazing record in the Olympiads and competitions. I'll tell you more about some of the amazing successes we've had. Another huge ethos of our school is the focus on practicals. So if there are 20 practicals for A-level chemistry, you will do around 200 at Nmsc. So our whole ethos is run with the swift. So we don't set any limit to how fast you can progress, and you can go beyond the A-level with us. So here's a couple of things the experts have said about us recently. The Good Schools Guide gave us a lovely quote last year when they visited: an exciting community where bright and like-minded students have a whale of a time, challenging both themselves and each other, and are privy to some of the best STEM-centered teaching around. We also had Outstanding by Ofsted in February 2020 for sixth form, and we also featured at the end of last year in the Week magazine as Outstanding for STEM. So we're really pleased that the college has had so many amazing reviews lately. We've had fantastic A-level results. Last year, 93% achieved A-star A, 70% were A-star, and about 3/4 of our students achieved straight A-stars. As you can see, the Good Schools Guide said we're one of the most selective schools in the country and one of the top performing schools. You can see, if you look at the ranking table, that Nmsc is currently 5. Now, a big thing to point out about Nmsc is that we are only ranked for maths and science levels, A levels. So this is a phenomenal achievement of 93% A-star A. That is only for maths and science. All the other schools in the top 10 are ranking for all different subjects for A-level. But as we know, maths and science are the toughest. So this is really quite a phenomenal result for us to have. Whereabouts are we? Well, we are in Warwickshire, which is about 15 minutes from Coventry and about 15 minutes from Birmingham. It's about an hour to London, and it's a gorgeous area. It's in right next to Warwick University, which I'm sure many of you will have heard of. So it's a lovely leafy area, and it's really close to visit Oxford and Cambridge and many of the top universities near us. So it's a lovely leafy area. You can see there, that's the opening of the college in summer. So it's a lovely area to be in. We are a very modern, state-of-the-art college. So we are the opposite of Hogwarts, but still quite magical. And we are very, it's very contemporary. This is our reception area, which is based on the principles of mathematical symmetry. So really around the whole college, NatMatSci is all about design and innovation and being state-of-the-art. We have all the latest equipment in our labs. They are done to the highest spec. So we have digital e-learning, we have Motic Microsofts, we use iPads. So it's very interactive and very modern. And you can see that's our biology lab there with Dr. Appleyard. We do a big thing I said before, we do a lot of practicals. If you want to get in the lab and get your lab coat on, NatMatSci is the place for you. It's our happy place, I would say, at NatMatSci. And it's really, we talk about a hands-on, minds-on approach. So all our staff will say to you, you know, you've got to prove it in the lab. We have wonderful teachers. In the photo there is Dr. Appleyard, head of biology. He has had 100% A*A for biology for the last 2 years running. All our teachers have either doctorates and have a lot of experience in teaching and preparing students for Oxbridge. We have a very close relationship with the teachers. It's really more like university, and you'll have a individual mentor, a tutor that mentors you all the way through. So we really believe in bringing science to life, and that's Dr. Penny there, our vice principal on the left, with a couple of our students. Mihir went on to study medicine at Penn State University in the US, and Fedor went on to do computer science at Edinburgh University. So Dr. Penny is all about, it's not just reading about science, it's doing science. We want our students to feel like they are being a scientist, not just reading about science. Some people say to us, oh, NatMatSci, because you're maths and science, are you mostly boys? We're not. We have a lot of girls, and I think the ratio is about 60-40. And we really sort of promote young women in STEM. We're very committed to this. Our vice principal, Dr. Robotham, is part of the Olympiad team for chemistry, and our other vice principal, Jocelyn Darcy, studied at MIT. So we're hugely committed to promoting young women in STEM. So you can see here how many of our wonderful female students have won prizes. Maria won at the Euclid Mathematics Worldwide. She's now studying natural science at UCL. You've got Yolanda, who's now studying maths at Warwick and winner of the Fermat Medal. We've got Tammy now doing virology at Bristol, Biomed, that's wonderful, Farami, they won the British Brain Bee, the Hypatia competition for maths distinction. That's Polly up top, who won a Russian medical prize. So we're really proud of how well our girls do in STEM. This is Sophia, who's currently in year 2. She's aiming for engineering at MIT or Oxford. She's the first girl in her family to study engineering. They've all been boys so far. So we're really proud that we can inspire young women. We have various people come to the college and talk to inspire our students. You can see we had a conference with Dr. Beth Romano, who's a mathematician at Cambridge, doing some amazing things in her field. And on the left is Hannah Sargent, who is doing, currently she's a planetary science, and she's working on research on finding moon water on the moon, and you can follow her on Twitter. It's an amazing big research project on the moon. So we love to sort of be part of that next generation of young women in STEM. So we like to prepare our students for, you know, their chosen course that they're aiming for, whichever university they want to go for. So we want to really work very closely with you. So what's your goal? If your goal is engineering at Oxford, if your goal is aerospace. And you can see here, this is Bjork, one of our students. He is half Italian, half British. He graduated 2020, and he got 4 A stars, and he was offered engineering at Cambridge. But he actually chose to go to Bristol because they have a very famous aerospace engineering program, and Bjork wants to be an astronaut. So we knew it was absolutely right for him to take the offer for Bristol and not Cambridge, because it was really, he liked all the professors there. He's aiming to be an astronaut. So for us, it's really about finding, you know, what's your dream? What's your goal? You know, if you want to be an astronaut, we will support that. So we do a lot of training for Oxbridge applications. We have Oxford and Cambridge come to the college, and they do training for the interview practice. And depending on which college you apply to and which subject, we'll prepare you for all the additional papers you might have to do if you're doing PMAT or for maths. And so last year, 20% of our students received offers for Oxford and Cambridge, and I think Suno recognizes his student there. This is the wonderful June, who is now studying at Cambridge biology, and June is quite a fantastic student, I must say. We're going to talk a little bit about him in a bit. So you can see like 100% of our students receive offers from Oxbridge and Russell Group universities. So that's Gun last year, who's now doing maths at Cambridge, Maria, who's doing natural science at UCL. So you can see some of the destinations there our students go on to: Warwick, UCL, Imperial, St Andrews, Edinburgh, you know, all top Russell Group universities. And there's a few more of our successes last year. That's Fedor, who's now doing computer science at Warwick. So we like that. He can pop back and visit. And our wonderful chemist, Moss and Ball, who are both on doing chemistry at Oxford University. And Ploy, also studying engineering at Oxford University. Many more great successes there for the college. So these are the sort of degrees our students go on to: natural science, maths, engineering, computer science, actuarial science. We've had so all the sort of STEM degrees that are in top demand for graduates. So we take part in the Olympiads, and for the last 3 years we have had a student in the GB team. Now this means that they came in the top 4 of the UK. So out of all UK students, they were selected to be the top 4 to represent the UK at the International Olympiads. So you can see this is Fall here, who went in 2019 chemistry, and he went to Paris and competed with the GB team. Then we had Ball, who competed the following year, and the wonderful Jin from Suno, who was in the biology team last year. Jin is an outstanding achievement. So he came top 4 in the UK in the British Olympiad, and then he went on to compete for the GB team internationally, and he came in the top 10% worldwide. Now this makes June one of the best young biologists in the world. It is quite an outstanding achievement. Not only did he excel in that, he also came in the top 5 in the international, the American Association of Teachers Physics Bowl, which is one of the highest accolade for young physicists. So that's not just in the UK, that is internationally. And he came in one of the top college teams around the world. So an amazing achievement, and he's now reading natural science at Cambridge University. And I'm just going to, I don't know if this will work, I will just go back. I'm going to play you a video now, and it's of our Korean students speaking.
I'm a Korean student who came to Nmsc a year ago to study physics, biology, maths and further maths. The way that the education at Nmsc is different from what I would have got back in my home country is that I get to choose the subjects that I'm interested in from a variety of subjects.
The high school that I was attending, we had like 300 students in one year group, whereas the college has 30 students only. So it's way more friendly in terms of the atmosphere and academic achievements.
Teachers have genuine passion in the subjects that they teach, which helps me in my education, but also greatly motivates me in every class.
They teach beyond what we learn in A-level subjects. We prepare for the Olympiad and brain bee competition along with A-level studies. I think those things ignite students' interest.
We have many opportunities to do experiments. I think that's really important because the essence of biology especially is to examine whether something's changing in terms of our life.
For the students who are living in the residence building, the wardens are always there to help with anyone's concerns. If you want to, you can use the facilities that are available around the college building, like public sports centre, and there are plenty of woods that you can go to for a walk. There is a counsellor who comes in every Wednesday who students can speak to if they have any concerns within and outside their academic work.
All of the teachers and students are really friendly and kind.
Just having that common interest and peers around who are genuinely interested in what they study is inspiring. And I think that environment is what makes Nmsc special.
So that was some of our absolutely lovely Korean students. Okay, so I will briefly tell you a little bit about our admissions process. You have to sit our maths entrance and English papers, and then have an interview with our principal, Dr. Kemp, which you'll also do some maths. So it is selective, and the maths is quite challenging. But we find when students make it through to interview with Dr. Kemp, they absolutely enjoy that, because the sort of students that want to come to Nmsc are good at maths, and they usually really enjoy doing the maths part with our principal. You can see there's some more awards we've had, quite outstanding for the Olympiads. We've had 16 golds, 8 silver and 6 bronze for chemistry last year. Physics, we had 3 golds, 8 silver, and the Euclid maths was amazing last year. As you know, you probably may have heard of this if you love maths. It's run by the University of Waterloo, and it's really for the most outstanding young mathematicians. And last year, 2 of our students came in the top 9%, and you can see Gunn there on the right. He's now studying maths at Cambridge. Alexei on the left is actually only in still in year 2, so he's not even at so amazing for such a young student to achieve 0.9% worldwide. It's really quite amazing. Last week we had our latest physics Olympiad results, and I was delighted to see 2 girls winning. One of our students is only in year 1 and she won silver, and our year 2 student won a top gold, which is beyond a gold medal, and very few students win that for physics. So we're really excited this year about our physics. You can see last year, Sophia, who's applying for engineering this year, also won at the ATP Physics Bowl and came in the top college teams. So we came, one of our students was top 100 globally, and our team, Nmsc team, was the top 5 teams worldwide. We also have a medical pathway program at the college. There's various parts of the program. It focuses on preparing you for your application, personal statement, UCAT and BMAT training, mock interviews. You will have a personal tutor. We do many different workshops. We have a medical society. So we will arrange voluntary work, which is necessary for medical application, and summer placements as well. We've also recently been doing virtual placements due to the pandemic. And that's one of our students there, Pierre, who's studying at St. George's Teaching Hospital. And he did a placement with University Hospital Birmingham, and he wants to be an oncologist. And you can see that's the lovely Carl from Warwick University who did a workshop with our students. In terms of the courses at NatMat-Sci, we accept students from age 15 to 19, and they can now join our residence too. So as a dedicated STEM college, we teach maths, further maths, biology, chemistry, physics, economics and computer science. You can also do an EPQ, which is an extended project qualification, which helps you sort of do research into an area, into a field you're particularly interested in, and you do get UCAS points for it, and universities like to see it. It shows that you've done independent research. So our A-level program, we do A-levels, we do English language teaching for those that need it, and we do Olympiad preparation as well. If the students that are often coming to us age 15, you can join our pre-A-level program. Now, this is a great program if you also need to develop your English language skills before starting your A-levels. So it means you can develop your lab skills, perhaps an area of maths or science where we feel you need some more work before you pursue your A-levels. So it's a great way to really get you so you're going to hit the ground running when you start your A-levels. So students come to this who are often coming from different international systems, perhaps not IGCE or GCSE. You're coming from your local system, so that extra year can really help you if you're aiming for a top university. So at NatMat-Sci, we believe not just learning in the classroom, we like to go beyond the classroom. So we do a lot of activities outside the classroom. We have a Belgrade theatre program that helps to develop your public speaking and communication skills, because Oxbridge interviews are very tough. So even if you're going to be a scientist, you still need to be able to persuade people about your ideas. So on a Saturday morning, our students go to the Belgrade Theatre and do drama activities. Now this helps them, develop confidence in using English, and also, body language, eye contact, everything that will help you with your interview for perhaps Oxbridge, but also at university when you need to take part in seminars or present your research findings. And when you go on to work, when you interview for jobs and your working life is also very useful. So it's a wonderful opportunity to really develop confidence. We do lots of different workshops and seminars. We do the Oxford Space Design. IBM come to visit us to do a workshop. We also visit Jaguar Land Rover, which is great for our budding engineers. And you can see there our trip to Jaguar Land Rover last year. Last month, our pre-A-level group visited Warwick Maths in Action Day, and they had a great time doing various lectures, having a tour of Warwick Maths department. We also do Physics in Action Day at Warwick. So it's fantastic that we have Warwick University on our doorstep. So we do a lot of different activities with them. That's our students there with Professor Lewis Dartnell, who's a very famous astrobiologist. He has lots of theories about the zombie apocalypse, various different things. So he's really fun to follow on Twitter, and he's written various books, and our students are really excited to meet him. Again, we did a genetics workshop with Warwick, where students worked with Professor Kevin Moffat, who's a famous geneticist, and they did a 6-week program looking at fruit flies and looking at the sort of brain. I believe none of them were hurt during it, so they followed the flies and what were happening. We also go to Birmingham University, and we do various sort of master classes with their postgraduate students, which is really fun and gives you a great insight into what life's like at university. I'll tell you a bit more now about boarding with us. So one of the most exciting things about coming to the UK is boarding, and we have a fantastic new residence, which is, as you can see on the left, that's the college building with our labs and classrooms, and it's just about a 2-3 minute walk over to the residence, which is very modern. You can see the reception area there. There's some of our students. There's a coffee hub. If you like gaming, there's a gaming area. You can see the gaming chairs there. All students have their own ensuite single room. So you have a private bedroom with your own ensuite bathroom. And every group of 6 students has their own common room and kitchen where you have your breakfast and evening meal and you can have snacks. The boarding team live with you and are there 24/7. So that's a typical room. Lots of areas to hang out in. We've got pool table, we've got table football, table tennis, lots of different things to do. You can see the college there. And we have a roof terrace. So it's a little bit cold now, but when we have lovely weather, it's great to go up there and relax with a book and have a coffee. We've also got an on-site gym. And we have various different activities you can join at NatMatSci. Being a STEM college, we have perhaps more than a traditional school. We have Genetics Society, we have Robotics Society, we have WebSoc, but we also have things like baking soc. Lots of our students are keen bakers, and we have Cake Wednesday, so every Wednesday we bake cakes. We have choir, we have basketball, frisbee, rugby, table tennis, badminton, various different things you can do. If you look up there, I must say chess is very popular at NatMatSci. So if you're in reception, you can often see students playing chess. And we have a lovely grand piano in reception as well for our students. On the right is actually Warwick University's climbing centre. So if you join Climbing Soc and get your pass, you can go anytime you like to the bouldering centre at Warwick Uni, and some of our students really enjoy it. You can see that's GenSoc, Genetics Society there. Our students built this amazing model. And we also have TechSoc. So the boarders have a 3D printer, and they were printing some engines last year. And that's MedSoc in the middle, where our students were practicing their surgical skills. And that was actually open heart surgery they were doing, where they had to do some very intricate surgical skills there. So NatMatSci is a very unique place. So all around the college, we have whiteboards, and each week the teachers set a different problem on the whiteboards. So you can see one there, and during break time, students go around and write up different solutions and challenge each other. So this is kind of amazing, because even at break time, NatMatSci students are still challenging themselves. And you'll see teachers will go in and write excellent stuff, or possibly, or can this really happen? So it's really fun, and you can see our students there are always challenging themselves. And the girl on the right is Ploy, and I actually took that photo of her, and everyone was trying to work out a problem, and she just turned around and she looked so happy because she had just nailed the problem. And it was just lovely to see her like that. And she's now studying engineering at Oxford. She's very bright. But you know, if you love maths and science, it's a really exciting environment. It's a bit like the X-Men, I would say. So we have lots of different sports, charities and events. We have Christmas Jumper Day. We do Comic Relief Day. we celebrate Chinese New Year, we celebrate Eid, we celebrate lots of different festivals at the college because we're very international. And if you look down on the left, that's our principal, Dr. Ken, and our head of maths, Simon, and they're actually judging a cake competition, but in true NatMat they are pie cakes, as in the formula pi. So our students had to make as many calculations for pi in 30 seconds and design a pie cake. And the winner, they judged the best pie cake, and the winner got the pie cake. So we have the NatMat Pie Challenge with cakes every year, and it's super fun. Our students come from, we have now 35 different nationalities in the college. So we have students from Spain, Belgium, Belarus, Latvia, Russia, Thailand, Korea, Uganda, Nigeria. Who else have we got? Malaysia. Lots of different, Vietnam. We have a lot of different nationalities in the college, which makes a really lovely international family, and it's a great mix. We had a fantastic Halloween party last year. Labs of hell, the labs were decked out and we had lots of fun. We had a wonderful Christmas party, and we always make different Christmas trees. So you can see that's the chem tree from our chemistry department, and we had a bio tree and a physics tree as well. We take the pandemic very seriously, being a STEM college, and you can see here the NatMat masks. And some of you physicists might recognize this is the Navier-Stokes equation, which represents the flow. So the NatMat mask blocks the flow. So even with our masks, we like to think of the science behind it. So I'd like to show you now a short film, so you can see our principal and our vice principal and have a little bit more of a look around the college.
The National Mathematics and Science College is an incredibly special place. We are here to serve those students who just need that support to enable them to excel truly in their subject areas. What we do here is truly unique. It enables gifted maths and science students to move well beyond the confines of the mathematics and science curriculum and explore some of the joys and depth that these subjects offer, and enable them to push the very boundaries of mathematical and scientific understanding.
This place is one of a kind. You won't find anything like that anywhere else. Everyone here is an individual. You learn about people and about life, and not only about science here. The teachers here are wonderful. They're helpful and supportive. You're never afraid to ask questions because you know that they're always going to help you.
One of the important aspects of what we do here is the emphasis we place on the practical work. And this is where students really come alive. You watch their eyes light up. And it's the difference between seeing the science in theory and actually seeing it being brought to life for them.
Pastoral care is central to everything we do. Our students are exceptional, but being exceptional doesn't mean they don't have needs.
Even at the residence, our boarding managers and our wardens are doing a great job keeping us safe and healthy. It really does feel like a family.
Everyone is ready to help you anytime. If you have maybe some problems with your mental health, always you can find a person who gonna speak to you and somehow to support you.
There's football, there's basketball, and we also have things like AstroSoc, there's RoboSoc. So really, an enrichment program here basically means that you're going to get a well-rounded student, but also delves deeper into other fields where they find passion.
I remember the first time I went to this college, I'm a bit afraid because my English not really good at that time. My teachers knows that, and then they just help me a lot.
You found it.
Whenever I have trouble like explaining some things that I'm learning, teachers always try to help, help me to use appropriate terminology or things like that.
The time when it comes that I graduate from this college, I think I will be ready. I've trained a lot in terms of academic aspects, as well as how to get along with people with different attitudes to the same situation. I think that really will help me after I go to the university to sort of adjust to the new environment.
I think it's such a great opportunity for all these young minds to just be together and learn together and just wants to change the world and do great things.
Our students are incredible. They leave us to go on to Oxford, to Cambridge, to places all around the world. They set their hearts on really ambitious targets, and it's our job to support them in trying to achieve them. They go on to do incredible things, and I'm quite sure they will go on to do even greater things in coming years as they move on through their careers and their lives.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed seeing our principal and vice principal, and that gives you a little bit of a feel of NatMatSci. We're very unique, and if you love maths and science, it's a wonderful environment. Small classes, you'll hear all the students often say it's like a family. Everybody knows each other. So it's a really nice supportive environment, not only academically, but also in pastoral setting as well. If you'd like to hear more from our staff, we have a NatMatSci podcast. And that's Kieran, our wonderful head of physics there. So he talks all about the awesome world of physics. He's very passionate about physics, and he talks about his love of astrophysics and how the pre-A level program contains a lot of astrophysics. He talks about his love of interest in the sort of moral aspects of physics and ethics, and how he's very interested in philosophy and physics. So it's really wonderful. And you can also hear from our head of computing. Dr. Penny talks about our medical pathway program. So if you'd like to just sit and listen more in depth to our team, then you can do so on the podcast. There's also one with our students as well, if you want to hear from them. And I think I'm doing one next week on admissions. So if you want to know more about the admissions process, there'll be one for that next week. If you'd like to test your maths, we do have a maths quiz on our website, which is lots of fun, and you can see how you get on in our maths test. And that's our head of maths, Simon, there. We're very active on social media. So if you want to see, there's one of our pie cakes. That was the NatMatSci pie cake competition I told you about. So if you want to see all things we're doing, like, you know, whether we're doing archery or we're doing tree walking or we're visiting some universities for seminars, you can see it all on our NatMatSci social media. So I will just go. So we also have coming up, which Suno and Claire will be able to tell you about. We have a virtual open event with our staff and students on the 8th of February, which will be at 8 p.m. Korea time. So if you're interested in joining the virtual event, you can actually ask some live questions to our principal and vice principal. So Suno and Claire will be able to tell you more about registering for that if you're interested. But thank you so much for listening to my presentation today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you all about our unique college, and I'd be very happy to answer any questions you have at all.
Okay, thank you so much, Jane. It was really great. Yes, especially
Thank you very much.
Especially, so you was happy to see my, previous students, and I'm keep in touch with them. Yeah. Okay, so well, how about the situation at NMSC during the Corona pandemic? So as you said, all students, so wearing mask. Yeah, so so how about so do we have a reduced number of students this year due to Corona pandemic, or more or less the same number of students?
No, we actually increased our student number this year. So we had more students this year. I think NatMatSci, our situation made us actually very safe during the pandemic because our students have private ensuite rooms, so they were able to come to the residence and do quarantine in the residence if they needed to, because it's no problem. We delivered meals to their doors if they were quarantining for 7 days, and they have ensuite. We have groups of 6 in the residence, so students have eat with 6 people with their house parents and have their own kitchen and common room for every group of 6. So they were very safe in that way. Equally in the college, they were doing daily lateral flow tests. As a STEM college, we're about the science, so we had lateral flow tests daily during peak time of pandemic. Students wore masks, we had sanitizing stations, and we had a one-way system around the college. Plus we did all our assembly areas online, so we joined on Microsoft Teams as a whole college and kept in small groups. Restrictions, that was at the height of the pandemic. Restrictions now have eased, so we are seeing slightly larger groups coming together. We did some of our voluntary work as virtual voluntary work for the medical students, so we're starting to see, I would say now, restrictions in England from tomorrow are all lifting. But we will continue to do mask wearing in public areas.
Okay, thank you very much. So so how many students at the moment studying at Nmsc?
Currently, I think we have around 70 students.
Yeah. Yes.
We had about 5 new students joined us in January for pre-A level, and I think 1 for A level. So a couple of students were a bit later to arrive this year, but we can accept students in September or January.
Yeah. So I know your space is not huge. So do you have do you want to intend more intend to get more students? So more than 100 something?
Yes, so this year the boarding was full, so we've expanded our boarding next year to take, so we have 50 more bedrooms next year, so we are expanding. So the capacity in the college is about 100, so the school will go up to probably 100, but it won't go bigger than 100 because we are a very dedicated, specialized school for students who are gifted in maths and science. So it will always be small classes, that's, community feel to the school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next year with the expansion of boarding, it will definitely be growing again next year, which is lovely to see.
Yeah. 이 학교 같은 경우에는 사실 큰 학교가 아니거든요. 그리고 이 학교에서 굉장히 많은 액티비티를 하고 있거든요. 그래서 여러 가지 아까 앞서 보셨던 스포츠라든지 엑스트라 커리큘러 그런 서브젝트가 굉장히 많거든요. 런던에 티어터를 방문한다든지 이런 부분이 많은데 이 학교는 근본적으로 톱 학교를 입학하는 학생들을 목표로 하고 있거든요. 그래서 자기소개서라든지 그다음에 인터뷰에서 이런 활동들이 굉장히 좀 중요한 역할을 해요. 그래서 영국에서는 실제로 A레벨 성적보다는 이런 전공에 대한 열정 이런 걸로 대학을 가기 때문에 이런 다양한 액티비티를 한다는 거 계속 소개하는 거고요. 이런 부분들은 제가 제 영상이라든지 제가 상담을 통해서 더 알려드리도록 하고요. Or we have got more questions. So I want the proportion of student nationalities. Can you? Yeah. So you mentioned before. So can you tell her about your nationality mix?
Yes, we have a wonderful nationality mix. It's over 25 different nationalities. So we have British students plus students from Europe, currently from Spain and Belgium and Malta. And then we have students from Russia, Latvia, Belarus, Ukraine. Then we have students from Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam. Then we have students from Uganda, one from Uganda, one from Nigeria. We have a student from Pakistan, one from Dubai. we have
how about Chinese students? The normal sixth-form college has got a large portion of Chinese population.
Yeah, we have Chinese students. We have I think about 8% Chinese.
8%, yeah.
But I would say NatMatSci not being a big college, we're not really dominated by any nationality. There's like, 2 or 3 of everything. I think there's currently 4 Korean students. There's like 2 Spanish. So it's quite a nice mix because we're not a big college. There's not really one group dominating, which next year we're accepting British day students. So we will see an increase next year. Already I know from recruitment. So next year we have more British students who are joining us as day pupils.
Okay.
And that was new for next year. So that will be quite exciting too, I think. We're also seeing more students from Spain. That's a growing area. And Germany, actually. I think that's sort of a little bit of a new area from us. We've always had students, I think, from Belarus, Latvia, Ukraine, Russia, as well.
Yeah. Well, so I just forgot to answer my question. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you have got the special student from Belgium. Can you tell a bit about the prince?
Yes. Yes, we are very excited this year to have Prince Gabriel from Belgium. So he's staying in the residence, and he's in year 2 A-level program. I believe he finished his IB and is doing fast track A-level program with us. So that's been very exciting. Our first student from Belgium and our first prince.
어쨌든 벨기에 왕자 있거든요. 서열순위 3위 이렇게 되거든요. 그래서 그분이 좀 NMSC에 입학을 해가지고 크게 화제가 됐고, 그다음 사실 학교에서 이걸 공개를 하지 않았는데 벨기에 왕실에서 공개를 해서 학교에서 이렇게 공개했던 케이스가 있거든요. 그걸 얘기해드리고, how about the Gabriel is get along with the other students?
Sorry, student, does he
he is well with the other students? Maybe he's got bodyguard or something?
Yes, he does have 2 bodyguards in the residence that live in another area of the residence.
Really? Okay, so yeah, so my student mentioned, he has got in some classes, together with Gabriel. So he mentioned about this. Yeah.
Yes, he does attend as a normal student. He goes to all his classes. Yes, but he has 2 bodyguards in the residence.
Yeah. So, well, I know that your school is really good, but it's quite new in South Korea. But so personally, I have a question. So you only accept as very talented student because I think many students would like to join your school, but your students should be very good and then talented, and can so average student apply for your school?
Yes, we are looking for students passionate and talented in maths and science, and it's really a wonderful environment that you can really thrive in and really develop your passions in those areas. You can go beyond the A-level and really delve deeper into maths and science and you can do more practical work with us, and you can challenge yourself at the competitions. You can get involved in lots of different societies to do more in genetics or tech or robotics, whatever you're interested in. So you can really develop your passion in STEM at NatMatSci.
이 학교 같은 경우는 굉장히 좀 좋은 학생을 뽑지만 사실 굉장히 좀 엄청난 성적이 좋아야 입학을 하고 왜 이런 학교는 아니지만 이 앞서 얘기했던 것처럼 이 학교 같은 경우는 옥스브리지라든지 의대라든지 인터뷰가 필요한 학교, 그다음에 굉장히 좀 높은 레벨의 뭐 사이언스 베이스라는 그런 전공들 있죠. 왜 이런 전공들을 가는 학생들한테 굉장히 적합하거든요. 그래서 지금 학교에서 그 과목에 대한 성적뿐만 아니라 과목에 대한 열정이라든지 왜 이런 것을 굉장히 좀 넣어주는 왜 이런 학교라고 생각을 하시면 될 것 같습니다. Okay, so thank you very much, Jane. We was really really happy to see you, and so the presentation was great. Yeah, thank you so much. So when is
Thank you so much, Suna. It's always a pleasure to work with you.
Okay. So we said, so when is the, or you think it's a deadline? When is the right time to apply for your school?
I think it's busy now with applications, and usually for the residents, it's best to apply by the end of April. After the end of April, the residence usually gets very busy, and it's sort of down to like not so many places in the residence. So I would say it's good to apply by the end of April.
Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you very much for your time. It was great.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for inviting us and all your support. It's a pleasure to work with you and Claire.
Yeah. So we have a very last question. I wonder what kind of activities students do at Warwick University.
Okay, so with Warwick University, we attend their Physics in Action Day and Maths in Action Day. So it means you get to go to the university for a day and tour. You get to join some lectures, and then you usually get to do a workshop where you work with postgraduate students and solve some problems or do things. So it's a mixture of workshop seminars, lectures, and a tour of the university. And we've done them with different departments. We've done them with biology, or we've done it with maths or with physics. And then Warwick University come and visit us. So for our medical students, they come over and do a workshop on interview skills. And it's like top tips for applying for medical school. So we work with them in various different ways. And we also, with activities, we use their climbing center. You can join that for free. We had a student that's very interested in tennis. He joined the Warwick University Tennis Society. So it's really nice to have it on our doorstep so we can kind of get involved in different activities with them.
Well, so can students use Durham Warwick sports facilities anytime?
Well, we have our own sports center, our own gym on site. So in the residence, there's a gym. And we actually use the Excel Center. So everyone who joins NatMatSci gets a membership of a gym and a swimming pool. And it's about sort of 10-minute walk from the residence, and you can use it. So you get a rubber band, wristband, and you can join the sports center.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. 그래서 그러면 여기서 마치도록 하겠습니다. 네, 감사합니다. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye.